from Ellymentry Papercrafting. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. So today I made a mistake and I said 2 p.m. on the title, and of course it's 2:30 p.m. I don't know what came over me, but a senior moment. Let's just call it a senior moment, okay? And I do apologise for that. So I'm trying yet again a different lighting scenario, and I'm looking at it and thinking it's a bit dark on this side, so I've just moved another lamp, so I'm wondering if that might help. So we've got Anne in the house. Yes, I'm trying to confuse you, Anne. I just need to keep you on your toes. Hi Hills, thanks for coming along. My two avid supporters, thank you very much. So I'm just cleaning my glasses while I'm talking. So today I've taken an image I found on Pinterest, and the lady's name who created it is Susie Wood. And I wrote that down because I always forget to do that. And the card she made was this style. It was the style of card I liked. I don't even remember what her design was. It might not even have been Stampin' Up, but it was this kind of design, and it looks like that when it stands up. So that's the profile, and I thought this was just a little bit different. So when it was standing on the shelf, I suppose it would look like this. But if you open it out, it makes it into quite a nice big card, sort of say like that. So the one that I've made, which is the measurements that she would have used, this is a card that we would call in Britain an A6 card. Hi Lisa, thank you for coming along. Haven't seen you for ages. I hope you're well. So Anne and Hilary are both in Britain, and Lisa is in Australia. So yeah, it's really nice of you to come along, because I know it must be quite late at night there. So this measures 4 inches by, I think it's 5.5. So this would be like an American size card. Oh, Hills can't hear me. Okay, can everyone else hear me okay? So you know me, I decided that, it was a pretty little card, but I like making a big card. So mine is going to be an A5, all right? So anyone who doesn't know what that is, it's this size twice, okay? So I'm going to be using the Uniquely Artistic. So Lisa says that it's 11 p.m. there. Okay, well, I appreciate you staying up late, Lisa. Thank you. And Anne is confirming that I am loud and clear. Good, it's not me. It's obviously Hill's settings or something. Right, so Uniquely Artistic is the stamp set. As soon as I saw it in the catalogue, I really liked this one. And if you'd like to know where it comes from the Stampin' Up annual catalogue, which is alive now through to the end of April 2023, and it's on page 114. Okay, so that's the stamp set I'm using. So I've put a marker in another page, and I'm trying to put my book down and not lose my marker. Okay, so now this oh, hello Heidi, haven't seen you for a long time. How are you? Hope you're okay. So Lisa says been here all day crafting for World Card Making Day. Yeah, I forgot all about that. So it's 11:30 for Heidi. And I made a mistake. For those of you who are joining me later, I made a mistake in the title. It's not 2 o'clock, it was 2:30 here. So, even I can't get the time right in my own country. Anyway, so let's get started. So I'm starting off with a piece of basic white cardstock, and it measures 4.5 square. And I'm going to come in with Granny Apple Green. Okay, now when I first saw this colour, I didn't like it at all. I thought, oh, that is horrible, too much for me, yuck, don't like it. But my Stampin' Up grandmother, that's Ruth, she used it a lot on her videos, and I thought, do you know what, it actually does look really nice when she stamps it. So I persuaded myself to try it, and I love it now, because although it looks like this really bright in your face green, like a lime green, it isn't. Okay, so the stamp I'm using to start with, now these are designed to look like a kind of watercolor. So the idea is you stamp with a darker color with these sort of detailed stamps like that, and then you use this one as the watercolor to color them in. You would use a lighter color. I played around with this set, and I have made a card using those two techniques, but when I was messing about earlier today looking for an idea, I quite like these on their own without the other stamp. So that's what I'm doing today. So, well, let me just have a quick look at the comments again. Oh, Anika, hi. Thanks for coming along. Really good to see you again. Okay, Hills, can you hear me now, please? Please say yes. So I'm starting off with that stamp, and I'm going to stamp it off because I don't want the full strength. And I'm just coming in with one stamp there. And it's a lovely green. I really, really like it now. And then I'm going to use Balmy Blue. Now these two colours I think go together really, really beautifully. And the image I'm using this time is this one here. So it's a flower, but it could be anything. And you know, that's supposed to be the leaves, but you know, when it's stamped like that, it could be anything. So I'm using the Balmy Blue, and I'm going to sort of nestle this in. I'm turning it round until I find a nice fit here. And that's going in like that. And then I'm not going to re-ink, and I'm just going to turn it so that it's a different angle. Oh, it's a bit too, that's too pale. So I just inked it up again very lightly and it's gone over the top. Okay. So then I'm going to come in with this leaf. Now this is actually from True Beauty, another beautiful stamp set by Stampin' Up. Let's have a look at the comments again. Anika says she's relatively fine. Okay. Oh, long COVID. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, because it's really unpleasant, isn't it? Not that I've thankfully, not that I've experienced it, but I do know a lot of people who have. So I'm going to just go in with a couple of those leaves. That's all. I'm not going to overdo that. I just want a couple there. And then I've got this other little stamp from the set, which is this one. And it's really lovely. You can use 2 or 3 of these at a time to create some really lovely effects. So I'm just going to go in that little gap there and do 1 and 2. And then at the top here, this is quite nice to bend round to make a nice sort of arch shape when you want to change something up. And then I've got the other leaf, which is this one, and this one I'm going to bring round the other side, so just like so. And they're lovely for sort of curling round and I just wanted to accentuate the sort of circular motion there. Now, I didn't stamp that properly, and that's why I've got that double effect. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this spot on, but well, I did. Yeah, it's not bad actually. Okay, and that's all I'm going to stamp on that one. And that's for my that's for the front of my card. That's my topper. Now, I've gone ahead and cut a piece of silver foil card, and that's going to edge that nicely, and I've gutted it as I normally do. Okay, now I've got another piece of basic white cardstock, which I carefully cut the same size, which has disappeared. No, is that not it? No, that's not it. Oh, how annoying. I cut another piece of this. Talk much to yourselves. It's just gone astray. Oh, don't you just hate it when that happens? I bet you I put it away. I expect I was clearing up after my prep and inadvertently put that back in the pack. But I'm looking in the pack and it's not there, which is really annoying. Right, let me just go through things systematically. Pick everything up and shake things out. And I will probably find it, won't I? No. Right, I'm just going to quickly cut another piece. Oh, I've forgotten how big I said that was. Okay, right, so sorry about that, ladies. I really do not know what happened to that. So that's going in there. Let's just pop that to one side. I seem to have frozen. Right, I'm really sorry about this, but I've been trying to see myself on the screen and I seem to have just disappeared. So I'm just going to carry on and hope that you can see me. So I'm going to come back with that green again. That's the granny apple green. And I'm coming in with that stamp again. And I have completely lost myself. So I've got to come back to this and hope I can pick it all up. So let's just whiz myself along and hope I'm in the right place. Right, okay, so I don't know what's going on here. So I'm stamping off and I'm just going to come on at the edges here with my green and just go all around the edges quite randomly, and then just bring in a little that balmy blue. Oh, oh, Right, I have completely missed so many comments here because the picture went off. So, yeah, Anika, I'm so sorry about that long COVID. Thank you, Lisa. Lisa says, I love it. Not quite sure what yet at the moment because I've missed half of what I did. Hello, Rosie. So lovely to see you. I hope Adam's with you. Hi, Adam. Right, so that's people are saying hello to each other, and Anne says, it's pouring down with rain and a washing's out. Oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Give Norman a shout and get him to get that in now. And then I'm just going to add some blue to the story here. Just around the edges like so. Put a bit in there. That's it. Oh, I forgot to re-ink that, so that looks ridiculous, but never mind. I'm not going to worry about it. Cindy, hi, lovely to see you. So lovely. Adam says hi to everyone and hope you're all having a good day so far. Thank you, Adam. I am having a good day apart from losing you for a minute there. Hope you're well. Now, I did cut another silver frame for this, but when I went to get the silver cardstock out, I didn't have any more of the nice shiny one. So the only other silver I had was this matte finish one. So I've had to go with that, I'm afraid, but it won't matter. It'll be okay. Now this part is going to be for my greeting, which is going to be kind of like hidden a little bit. So this bit here, what I decided to do was put another mat on there. That's what this is. And I'm going to stamp my greeting in there, which is going to be some friendships are just meant to be. Okay, now I wanted this to be slightly darker than that blue in the background. So I've gone for Coastal Cabana, which is a darker shade of the balmy blue. Oh, Claire's here. Hello, Claire. So good of you to join me. I know how busy you are at the moment. So, Claire's been food shopping. How lovely. Not. Okay, so I'm just going to put this, which way up do I want to? I think, yeah, that way, I think. And I'm just going to pop that in the middle. And that's fine. So sticking anything onto shiny surfaces is a bit difficult with wet glue. So I like to use my tear and tape or double-sided tape, whatever you like to call it. I find it's easier to stick. So just bringing that in, and I just use a gift card, credit card, any kind of card to help me to break that tape. I find this is the easiest way to do it. Oh, so Claire's bought a top and Megan has combat trousers. Wow, you've had a good shopping spree. Yeah, Claire does love her charity shops. I never find anything in there myself. Obviously don't go to the right shops on the right days that you do. Although having said that, I once went with Esther and Ruth, and I bought a serving dish and a lovely scarf. So yeah, I was lucky on that occasion. They obviously took me to the right one, although it's a shop in my town, which has been there for years. I don't think I've ever been in there. Just shows you, actually, when you go with somebody else, things are different. So I'm just going to pop that onto my mat. Oh, actually, Cindy, I sent you the link for this silicone mat, didn't I, on Amazon? Did you get the mat? I know you said you were going to order it. So Cindy is leaving on Monday for SC to see my mum and family. SC, help me with SC. Don't know what that is. So on here, I'm going to stamp happy birthday, and that's going to go down there in that corner. And again, I'm going to do it with the Coastal Cabana. Let's just pop this on. Like so. This is such a lovely colour. And then I'm going to put that tear and tape on the back of that again. South Carolina. Okay. And how far away is that for you, Cindy? And for anybody who doesn't know, I know you all know because I've been on about it for a while now. I'm off to Dallas a week Monday. Yes, it's only a week Monday. I can't believe I'm saying that because for some time it's seemed like so long away, and it's a week Monday. I can't believe that. Fantastic. So let's just, oh, I'll leave that on for a minute because, oh yeah, it's going to go on there. Okay, if I thought about this a bit earlier, I might have put the tape on. Oh, but then it would have been a bit, yeah, probably not a good idea because of the stamping. That might have just given me a uneven surface to stamp on. So probably a good job I didn't. So Cindy got the link, she got the mat and gave it to Cheryl, and she ordered one. Oh, great. So Cindy says that South Carolina is on the East Coast, 3,000 miles. Oh, wow. I don't know how long. How far am I from Dallas? I've never looked it up really. And that's not very good. I haven't centered that very well, but I'm just going to go for it. Right, so that's my stamping done. That's my topper and the bit for the inside. Okay, so to construct the card itself, now I'm going to make a confession now, girls. I haven't actually made this card yet. This is the first time. Apart from making the small one, I haven't made this larger size up. So let's just hope it works. Okay, so what I've got is a piece of card here which measures 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, and that's going to be this part of the card. Okay, now this one you could make from one sheet of cardstock because obviously it's 11 inches, but I need one a lot longer than that to make my bigger card. So that's my back, 5 1/4 by 8 1/4. This piece is 8 by 8 1/4, and I'm sorry, 8 1/2 by 8 1/4. So what I'm going to do is stick those two together and then do my folds on this one. Well, I'll do the folds first. So I need to score at 2 inches. Oh. Sorry, I've just got a bit of a runny nose now. 4 inches. And actually, to score this one, I'm going to turn it over because this is going to be sort of concertina folds, and it's always good to score on the other side. So 6 inches, so it's every 2 inches, okay? And then for the final one, I'm going to 8 inches, which gives me a 1/2 inch tab here to stick down. So then I'm going to grab my bone folder, and then you always fold away from, so it's scored on that side, so I score away from the scored line. And then because I reversed it, I can just fold down on that one the opposite way, and then fold down this way. So I'm doing that concertina fold, and every time you fold, always make sure that these top and bottom pieces are squared off to each other, and then you'll make sure that you get a good finish. Okay, so that's my last fold, so making sure it's squared up top and bottom. So I've got that concertina fold there. Okay, so this is going to stick onto my cardstock like so, and this part goes on the top. All right, because you're going to stick a piece of card paper or whatever you want to write on top, and that will cover that up. If you stick it on the back, which a lot of people would be tempted to do, that's fine. You know, if you want to do that, that's okay, but then it will leave that mark on the back where it's been stuck together, unless you want to cover it. But okay, so I prefer to do it inside, but if that's not how you see it, then you can do it on top. Oh, let me just make sure. So you want this piece, you want the edge here, all right? It's not that way up, so that it's the other way around. Okay, so I find it easier to use this bit here that you can butt into, and I make sure that it's right up against there and right up against there, and then I know it's going to be completely squared. And I find it easier to put the glue on here and then push that piece right up alongside as well, really into the corner like that, and then it should be perfectly together. Just put the lid on my glue. Right, Heidi says, Cindy, did I read correctly? You're off to Dallas? No, I'm going to Dallas. Cindy's going to South Carolina. Now, if that is a bit proud, you can just cut it off with some scissors. And mine's okay along there, but one piece of cardstock is minimally longer than the other. So I'm just going to get my scissors and just go in and just cut that tiny little bit off so that it's flush. Okay, now I've gone ahead and done some matting and layering. So I used those same stamps again, and I stamped an 8-inch square piece of card like so. You can imagine that all together, and then I cut them down. So these are going to go on my concertina places. Okay, so they are 2 inches square, sorry, 2 inches wide. So I cut some Bermuda Bay cardstock to 1 3/4 inches wide. Then my paper that I stamped is 1.5. So I gave myself a little 1/8 inch border all the way around. So, oh, hi Sherry, thanks for coming along. Really nice of you to join us. So Heidi says, oh my lord, sorry, I had top chat on and couldn't work out why my message didn't come on. It's on live chat now. Do you know, Heidi, I've done that before and got myself really muddled up, didn't know what I was doing, but it's good that you you knew what you were doing. So I've gone ahead and cut 4 of these, and you might notice that these have been embossed. Okay, I'm just holding it up a little bit to see if you can see the texture on this. And my 4th one is keeping my place in my catalogue. Now, the embossing folder in the catalogue is this one. It's called Time Worn Type. It's a 3D embossing folder. It's a 6x6. Now, that's in the annual catalogue again. Now, I don't have that embossing folder, but the one I've used is an old one I have, and that's an 8x8 one. So I could put all 4 pieces of card in and emboss the whole thing. But it's very, very similar to the one in the catalogue. But, you know, you can use any embossing folder you like. If you don't want to emboss it, it's fine. Just leave it plain. But I just thought it would give it a little bit of extra. And it was an afterthought, so I embossed it after I'd stuck it on the card, which I think actually gives a better effect. Anika says, that looks lovely, thank you. I did look around in my stash for some designer series paper to use on these panels, but the problem when you make larger cards like this is that a lot of the designer series paper is sold in 6x6 packs, which is fine if you're making a smaller card, but they don't work for larger cards like this. And I stopped buying the 12x12 because I was finding I was actually not using it all. So I just thought, you know, the best thing to do is just do my own, make my own designer series paper in the colours I want to use. And with the stamps I'm using, it sort of makes sense, really. Although I have to admit, I have bought a couple of the 12-inch ones, but I've got so much of it left over that's now retired that I'm just thinking, don't buy any more, just use what you've got. So in future videos, you will see me using retired designer series paper. No, it does look all right when you've already stuck it on. And actually, I think if you just emboss paper, which is what I've stamped onto, and emboss that, it can tear it. So probably putting it on the card was the best move, really. So just putting this on with my Tombow, and that's going on like so. Now, I do confess, I somewhere along the line, when I was thinking about this cut, well, when I was sort of halfway through layering and stamping and all the rest of it, in the back of my mind, I did think to myself that I was going to put a darker matte somewhere in the line, you know, like a navy blue or something, because I thought it might need a darker colour. And, well, obviously I completely forgot about that because I didn't do it. And it's a bit late now. Too much DSP, says Anika. Why does that sound familiar? Well, we're all guilty, aren't we? We're all guilty. So that's the profile of that. So if I bring the other one in, you'll see the similarity. Okay, these are 1 3/4 inches, but I did these 2, and I'm thinking actually I could even have gone to 3. But you know, it's the first one I've made. If I make it again, I might make these bigger. But that would mean 12-inch card. So I'll probably have to make them 2.5, 2 3/4, 2 3/4 maybe. But anyway, it's okay. It's okay. So then the piece of card that I'm going to fit onto here, I have made 5 inches. I think that's 5 inches. Yeah, it's 5 inches square. And that's where I'm going to sit my 2 panels that I've stamped. So one on there and one on there. Okay. Right, so my son's gone off on his bike today, gone to the bowls club where he's marshalling the car park. He feels very important, wears his yellow vest, you know, the highlight, what do they call them? What do they call those, you know, the highlighted vests? I've forgotten. High vis. Yeah, so he's ridden his bike off to the club after he had to dry it down because we had a really horrible, had lots of rainfall last night, and the tarpaulin came off the top of our garden furniture and his bike, so his bike got soaking wet. So this morning that was a big job to do, get the tarpaulin off and, well, pick it up off the floor and dry everything off. So he didn't really appreciate that. So that's just going to stick inside like so. So if I put some double-sided tape on here, like so, so that bit's going to go there, and then I need another piece on here. Heidi, have you sorted much out since last time I spoke in your new apartment? Are you getting everything unpacked now and hopefully in the place you want it to be? And has the other house sold yet? So the next thing I'm going to do is put some double-sided tape on here as well. So the best way to do that, to make sure I get it in the right place, is just to leave the card there and just flip that down. I've got a really itchy nose at the moment. And then I'm going to put the tape on the other edge, and I've got the card underneath to guide me as to how far down I need to go there. And if I just move that along a bit, the other piece is going here. Right, I think if I stick the front down first, that should be right, shouldn't it? Like that. I can't remember what I did on that smaller one. Yeah. So whip the backing off there. I think my son's come home. He's early. Thought he'd be there a lot longer. Oh, hang on though. Yeah. So he goes to marshal the car park because it's near to the football ground. And obviously the football fans sometimes go and try and park in the Bowls Club car park, so he goes to marshal that. They can park there, but you have to pay for it, so that's been his job. And of course they kick off at 3 o'clock, and I've just realised it's 3:10 here, so that's why he's home. He didn't stay to socialise afterwards. There must be something he wants to watch on TV, I would assume. So then that can go on there, and that all works really well. So what we need on here now is some paper to cover that, and I think I'll just do what I've done here. I'll cut a piece to fit there, and then we'll stamp it around the edge, and then a greeting can go in the middle. So if I take the I'll take the Calypso Coral again. No, it's not called Calypso Coral, is it? It's Coastal Cabana. I always get those two muddled up. Not the colours, because the colours are totally different. It's just the name. So let's take a piece of that. So I'm just catching up with the comments. Heidi says, with your unpacking due to moving house, I found stationery not used from when I was a kid. No! Heidi, wow, that's ridiculous. Hello, Wendy. Nice to have you here. Is this your first time with us? I don't recognise your name from before. So that's going to fit on the back. I've just copied that, sorry, cut that at 5.5 by 8, which gives us that 1/8 of an inch border. And I am going to gut it because I don't like wasting cardstock. Yeah, that way around. So I just put that on my 1/2 inch mark. 1/2 inch from there down to 7.5. Turn it 90 degrees, back on that 1/2 inch mark. So easy to do this when you use these trimmers. And then I can use that piece of card for something else. Let's get a piece of white. So this should be 5 1/4. It's going to be by 7 3/4. I'll have to open that out. So that can go on there. Yep, don't you love it when a plan comes together? Thanks everyone for welcoming Wendy. It's always nice when new people come along. And hopefully Wendy will come back again when I'm live. Now I'm usually live every Saturday afternoon at 2:30, not 2 o'clock as I put in the title. I don't know why I said that. But as I just mentioned earlier, I am off to Dallas, and I hope I will do a live on a Saturday, but I cannot promise that it'll be, well, I'm just going to say I don't know what time it'll be. It'll be whenever is a good time for us, because obviously it's a holiday, so we're going to be doing things impromptu. We don't know when we're doing what, so I'll just come on when I can. And as some of you know, Cindy is also a Stampin' Up demonstrator. So she has lots of supplies that I don't, and I've put lots of blobs on there, which I'm going to have to cover. Yeah, so I will be, when I do a live, hopefully it will be with Cindy. I'm really hoping she'll come and join me. And I'll be using whatever she's got. So that will be really, really different. It'll be lots of different things for me to play with. So I'm really loving this stamp set. It's really kind of abstract, and it puts me in mind of the Artistically Inked stamp set. It's very similar. So I think I might do a couple of those leaves. Oh, I know what I missed off of the other one. Dots. Right, let's just pop some leaves on. I'm stamping these off as well because I don't want them really heavy. I stamped off and then put it on the stamp pad then. Oh dear. Yeah, that'll do for that. And then I want to use that other leaf, the pretty one here, and I'll do this in full strength. Just to give that other depth. There we are. Yes, now what I should have done around the edge of that to match with this paper is the dottage, but I can't do it on there now because it's not going to be any good. The stamp set Sherry is uniquely artistic. I've used that one, and the two fine leaves. The other two, the larger leaf here is from True Beauty. The two greetings sentiments I used are from Shaded Summer, and that was Happy Birthday and Some Friendships Are Just Meant to Be. This is a lovely stamp set. I've used this before in a demonstration, but there's some really nice sentiments on this one. So yeah, that's always handy. Dottage. Right, so from Merriest Moments, which is a Christmas set actually, is this lovely little stamp with dots on. Always look at those tiny stamps in your sets because they're really invaluable. And I'm using the Coastal Cabana, and I'm just going to go randomly turning the stamp as I go, so it's always on at a different angle, and just going around the outside, and that really does bring a little something to it. Now those smudges, I'm going to use my mono eraser just to get those off, because I'm not going to stamp a greeting on here. I shall want to write something on there when I decide to send the card. And that's, I don't know if anyone's got one of these. They are really good. Or if you haven't got one, it's a really good thing to have in your stash. It's called a sand eraser. Okay, you don't have to press hard. It's best to press very lightly, but just keep going. If you get ink on these, if you rub it off straight away, it won't stain. If you leave it a while, it might. Okay, so I can use wet glue on this one. Oh, Cindy, I saw you had a new roof put on your porch. How did that go? Was it okay? Was it a good job? Did it take long? Anika, the dotted stamps, you know, they really do bring something extra to the project. And I meant to actually, Anne, I meant to say that to you the other day. Anne's not really into stamping. She does it occasionally, but she did do some of her own one sheet wonders back in papers the other day, just playing around, and they were really lovely. And I meant to say to you, as well as turning the stamps in different directions, also try and find something like this to add to it, because it kind of like brings it together somehow. So then I'm going to just glue this one in. Wendy says she loves her sand eraser. It's saved so many cards for her. So I'm just going to pop that in, leaving that little border all around. And that way it will hide where we stuck the card together. And yes, you can see a tiny little bit there and a tiny little bit there. But if the person you send this card to notices that, then they're not worth sending a card to, because look what else you've done. You know, you've done everything else beautifully. That tiny little bit really isn't important. So as you can see from the finished effect, I still think it would have looked better had I put a darker layer somewhere. Because these are like very pale colours, and if I just put a layer of Night of Navy, I think, in somewhere, I think it would have made it pop. I just bring in, here we are. So Anne said it's a gorgeous card. Thank you, and I really appreciate that. As I say, I do think I could have had a darker matte in there somewhere. So if I just pop that underneath, can't do it now, I was going to try and get it on the corner. So can you see what I mean about putting that, just that little bit there? It would have made all the difference, wouldn't it? So it's something to bear in mind. And I do sometimes think when you make something and it's not quite right, and then you add the other bit in like I just did, it helps when someone else is making a card to see what a difference it can make just by putting an extra pop of colour. So yeah, something to think about next time I make a card is to really bring all the card out and check it out before I start cutting. So yeah, so when you stand this up like that, that's what the profile looks like. And when from the front, so if that was on the mantelpiece, you can see it would look like that. So it's quite a dramatic card, I think. It will really, what's that expression? It's a mantle pleaser. Oh dear. So Wendy says the soft colour palette is beautiful though. Hello Cindy, I didn't see you come on. Nice to see you. I think you've missed most of it. I didn't see when you came on. No, it must be just now, yeah. Really good that you came on, but I'm afraid you just caught the end. So this is the card I made, and just to quickly recap, I used the Uniquely Artistic for the main design. I used the leaf from here, True Beauty, and from Shaded Summer I used the two sentiments, and I borrowed the little dottage from Merriest Moments, and I used Granny Apple Green, Balmy Blue and Coastal Cabana. It's been really, really lovely to have a chat to you all again this afternoon. And thank you very much, Anika, for mentioning the thumbs up. It always helps if I get some likes for my videos. Now, I did mention last week that I have now hit the 1,000 subscriber target, which is absolutely wonderful. And to celebrate that, I am giving away the brand new stamp set, not used, called Amazing Phrasing. So still all in the packaging, completely unused. And that was only available for 2 months. So I know lots of people did miss it, they didn't get it. So here is a chance to get it for free. Now, if you look back, I popped a video on last Saturday, and all you have to do is watch that video and make a positive comment. And at 4 o'clock this afternoon, I'll make a draw from all those who have commented and subscribed, and the winner will receive the set. And it is open to wherever you are in the world. It's not just the UK. So I'm going to say cheerio and thank you all again very, very much for coming to support me. If you're not subscribed, please do. Everything I've used today and everything in the current catalogues is available in my online store, and there'll be a link to that below. So once again, thank you all very much, and hope to see you all later. Bye-bye.